that right there instead of that could have been on the wedding instead of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
like
okay,
that's how I feel.
sorry, but okay, because you had mentioned something about the marriage license. So my question goes to, what about those people who consider like the marriage license is just a piece of paper? Because you were saying the ring is just a symbol. So if they also consider the marriage license to be just a piece of paper, like how,
But
how do you?
by law I still have your last name.
If you change
Again,
it.
the ring that's true too. Again, okay, so the ring and the marriage license, okay, that's just a symbol. I have your
Mhm.
last name. We made a vow before our family and before God.
Yeah.
That and we got so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you spend on a ring. My love for you won't change. That's just me. Like I said, I'm not materialistic at all. I'll be satisfied with the ring from Walmart
Hmm.
if that's all you could afford. Now, if you could spend that type of money on an engagement ring and propose to me, I'll be fine with that too. But like I said, it really doesn't matter. Why spend that much money on a ring when you can use that toward the wedding?
Yeah. I think part of it is like engagement rings in general are like super expensive. Like I was helping a friend, pick out a ring, and wherever we looked, it was like super, super expensive. It's just in general. Like once you even pick the topic of engagement ring, it's automatically $1,000 plus. Like there is nothing cheaper than that, unless, like you said, you go to Walmart or Sam's Club and just get a ring. So I guess it depends on what you consider an engagement ring and what you consider not an engagement ring too. But
I'm
I feel
telling
like
y'all,
that's another topic.
Walmart got nice rings. I'm just saying, Walmart have nice rings that look like for like $80 to $200.
Mm-hmm.
They have rings around their price range that look just like the ring for $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
I'll
Now
tell you
I don't
what.
know if you're looking at the carrots or anything else like that, but a ring is a ring to
So
me.
and I agree. So for somebody who says like, okay, they got, because you're gonna have the argument where people are like, um, oh, they got me a cheap ring. They don't know me. My significant other would never do that because they should know that I like, Tiffany's or whatever. Like they say all that, and then they get the ring and they see that, and then they say no because they're like, they should have gotten me a good ring.
But for
So
me,
that's
how
a
do you?
deal breaker.
For some people, it might be.
But how
Go
do you?
ahead, John.
I was gonna say. So for me, that's like, how do you even find somebody like that? Or better yet, how do you find somebody that is not gonna be like, oh, yeah, he ain't buy me a nice ring, so I can't marry him. He cheap. Blah 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 blah.
Well, that means you picked the wrong person.
And
Or I'm thinking about it from the other person's perspective. Now, if the guy, because I'm not gonna assume, but I'm just saying the girl is probably the one who's saying he shouldn't have done that, right?
mhm.
So if the guy is like, well, my girl should know that this is all that I could afford, then he probably did not have that expectation that she would have responded that way. So does that mean that they didn't know each other very well?
I guess so. But like, so what were you looking
So
for then?
They was scouting in the wrong places.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that?
what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Christian Call Center where Jesus is on the main line and we're on line too.
Nah, but for real, I was joking. But like, what do you mean by that?
That they was scouting in the wrong places.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
They wasn't looking in the right places. Because for me, again, this goes back to again, the different mindsets that these two people have. Let's just say, like I said, the woman was like, he should know me, I want something from Tiffany's, and the dude is like, she should know my pockets. So automatically, if you're at, first of all, if you're at the point of engagement and you don't know that about your significant other, then that means that whole relationship was probably built on
Materialistic.
exact.
Materialism.
So, which means you probably found, let's be real, you might have found this person, and I'm very much generalizing and stereotyping here, so just disclaimer. But you might have found this person in at the mall in some high-end store, or you might have found them in like the VIP section of a club or something. Like you probably found them in a place that had like materialistic vibes, if that
Or they put on a persona that they had it like that.
who? The guy or the girl?
Either or.
There. So this is why scouting is important, because you should be able to pick up on that. Hopefully, if you do it right, for me, I feel like you should be able to pick up on that before you get to a point where, like y'all start dating and getting to know each other, and like you're allowing this person into your space.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're mentioning scouting. So what is scouting?
Well, uh y'all y'all heard of cuffing season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of cuffing season.
So apparently cuffing season is like this whole series, y'all. It's like everybody always say, oh, I'm trying to like, be part of cuffing season, blah, blah, whatever. But there's like 15 steps before and there's like 10 steps after. So the actual season starts with scouting. So scouting, my basic definition of scouting is you, like it says, you scout out, you look. This is like, I imagine like y'all seen the Netflix show You?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, for those of you
Need
who
to watch it.
do not know, the Netflix show You, Joe always be like in the corner with the binoculars, like just looking at people, just like watching them.
Oh, you mean that show about that stalker dude?
Or
Yeah,
yes, or instead of to that extreme, we can say like NBA scouting.
my bad, y'all.
I was about to say because
We
that's
are
kind
going
of
to
crazy.
extreme.
Like, why would you even want?
No, I'm just saying that's the picture that I get in my head when I'm thinking about scouting. But for real, even at like the games and stuff, people be having the binoculars and they just be watching. That's what I be thinking.
Well, we gonna use the term like NBA coaches when we're scouting for
Yeah,
players. How about that?
Yes.
you
So
know,
that's
talking
We're
basically
about
not
what scouting season is. You looking, you paying attention, you watching them, seeing their environment, you kind of like, seeing if they pique your interest, that kind of thing. Like, yeah.
so how do we scout?
How do
I
we
think you might have answered. You might have answered that. Like,
well,
are we?
scouting, somebody else want to answer?
I mean, I
John
don't know.
got the.
I feel like scouting starts whenever you feel like you looking for somebody. So
Okay.
like,
All right.
Looking for you.
but no, like
So
seriously, because ultimately, like, you can't find somebody if you're not looking.
that's true.
So if
Not
you
necessarily. You don't have to be looking for somebody to find you, but that's another topic.
no, but I'm saying you can't find somebody if you're not looking. Somebody could walk into your life if you're not looking, but you
Yeah,
can't
That's
find
true.
somebody if you're not looking.
that means they
Yeah.
will.
Okay.
So obviously you gotta be in places that you could find a partner. Like, I don't know, like, because you meet people the same. Like, I guess you meet people the same way you could meet people in general.
Hmm.
All right, before we get into that, are each one of you guys scouting right now?
No.
Uh,
No, me neither.
I feel like I'm in like the pre-scout. You know, like I'm in like
What is that?
that's in like the series hasn't started yet. This is like okay, where's my analogy? Like you preparing because
To
you
go
know
out to
how like
scout,
in
but you not there yet.
like in high school, like scouts come out at a certain time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in like the season before the scouts come out, you know.
Okay.
I'm
So
in like the
literally,
Okay.
you just
preparation
doing your
season.
thing.
I'm in like the skills building season. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm not scouting. Mm-mm. I don't want to scout. I'm good where I'm at.
Okay, so for the people who are in different places in their lives, like we're ready to get out there. Because I think the last episode kind of talked about what I'm referencing is the pre-scouting scout. It was the preparation beforehand, which is why we kind of like touched on the Ruth and Boaz story. So we're still in line with this because I think that story kind of like ties into this entire series. So if we're starting with scouting, and if you're ready to be part of that scouting time, what does that look like on a personal level? Say you were in this season, just for a hypothetical reason, for the people that's out there. If you were in this season of scouting, how would you approach it? What would you do?
I mean, like John said, you have to be actively looking
Mm-hmm.
to scout. So I feel like well, okay, from a woman's perspective, you know how the Bible says the man that findeth a wife.
Mm-hmm.
So for a man to find me, I would have to put myself in position, like put myself out there to be found.
Come on, position
So
like Miss Ruth.
so yeah, like and there's a lot of misconceptions there that you have to be in the church to find your husband or your wife. I feel like you can be in a grocery store, you can be at work, even though I don't condone dating coworkers. Um Coffee shops, something like that. It's plenty of places you can meet a potential husband or a wife, a godly husband or a wife.
Right, because ultimately you don't know what somebody's got on their heart or in their mind until you get to talking to them anyway.
Right.
So, I mean, you would hope that you would find that godly partner in the church, but not everybody's
Of
church,
course.
you know, has
Oh,
what
I
you
ain't
like.
gonna say that. I was about to make a comment, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to get rebuked.
Oh
By
Lord.
who?
The church folks.
This our
Cause,
platform.
cause quiet as a kept, it's more demons and spirits in the church than anything.
Hey,
Look, and I
the
think
truth starts
again,
at home, huh?
look, and again for me, that I think that's part of the scouting. If I'm okay, because again, that's one of the potential environments that I could be in, correct? So if
Hmm.
I'm
Right.
in church, I'm not saying I'm going to church to look for a man. Please stop doing that, people. Stop trying to go to church and find your wife and stuff because y'all only in there to couple up and then y'all want to leave. Stop doing that.
And ain't no God in that. Ain't no God in that.
Exactly. Go in there, get yourself right with God, and then maybe if you happen to find somebody in the process, more power to you. But don't be just trying to go in the church to find a woman or a man and then pull them out. And we not doing that here. It's 2022. Get yourself together. Anyway,
Amen.
moving
We
on.
bless God.
Yeah.
Moving on from that. Now again, if I'm scouting and one of my potential scout locations, right? Because like with the sports teams, they might go to different schools. So if one of my places of choice is the church, right? And as I'm getting right with Jesus, I may spot somebody in the corner of my eye because we hear stories about that all the time. Like I absolutely love Pastor Ryan and Sister Brittany's love story, how they met at 16.
Yeah.
I think that's so cute. Um, but again, it was something that she was doing. He was probably like watching her. He was probably scouting her, right? Right. So he probably like saw and was like, "Hey, that girl over there, kind of interesting." And he was
But what,
probably like,
like they were friends first before he went with his move, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
remember he tells the story. Wasn't he trying to talk to her friend, or she was trying to
No,
set him up with
she
her
was
friend?
trying to hook him up with her,
Yeah, she was trying to set him up with her
but
friend,
he
and
was
he was
like,
looking at her.
"This, I
Like,
see you over
right.
there."
So,
Right. So
so
for him, he
this
was
is the
probably
question
like,
myself.
because at CCYC, you're not around everybody. So I'm just putting things out there. He probably was like looking and was like, oh, she over there, doing this and being all godly and whatnot. And I'm like,
She a
he see
worshiper.
that. Yeah, like you a worshiper, you be speaking in tongues, you lit by the fire of Jesus. Like,
You a Holy
he
Ghost girl.
yeah, come on now, Holy Ghost girl. So he probably started like, okay, because I think it was at the anniversary that the brother was saying, "Oh, who's this dude that's following around my sister?"
Oh
So
yeah, that was
Yeah.
her older.
Sister
I think it
Praise
was her
brother.
older brother.
yeah, so he was looking. So for him, it was they were at church camp. Obviously, they went there for the intention of being at this youth convocation, but in the process, it resulted into him, in addition to being at this youth camp, also finding his wife.
I was like,
So,
could this potentially be my wife?
huh?
I was saying, like, could this potentially be my wife?
Exactly. So he had to go through all of the other, steps of the seasons, which we will go and get into in a later date. But now that he's, scouting or whatever. So again, applying this back to us, if we are in the church and we see um maybe there's somebody who catches your attention. It's not, and I'm gonna say this, when it comes to like dating in the church, I feel like it's always a think before you act situation. I think that sometimes a lot of people will jump on things and like they're automatically like, oh, you go to church, I go to church, let's date. No, we're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna do that,
Ooh,
because again,
Mm-mm.
we're
that's
running into
good.
the
That's
situation
good.
of this person might not be who they say they are. They put on a front, or they're not being realistic. You know what I mean? So
They got
you
maybe trauma.
exactly. So got to take the time to get to know these people. So when you're looking and you put yourself in the environment, you're not when you're putting yourself in the environment when it comes to scouting, you're not, how can I say this? I'm trying to phrase this. You're putting yourself in a place to be seen, but not to be recognized, if that makes sense. Because what I'm
Elaborate.
because what I'm saying is you're not there to be attention grabbing.
Yeah, I was about to say you're not actively trying to grab their attention, but you're putting
Exactly.
yourself in position to like, still be seen. I get
Exactly.
what you're trying to say, but I can't put it into
Yeah,
words.
because for me, it's like, okay, there are people who will come into places, and I'm not specifically talking about church, but if we're going to talk about church, we're going to talk about that. There are people who go into church and it's like, okay, I want a godly man, I want a godly woman. So because of that, there are some people, I'm not saying this to everybody, there are some people who will do a little bit more to be noticed by the opposite sex. So some
Like,
might
like,
wear like the best suit, some might wear the tightest dress. Like they will do extra things
or
to be noticed, to grab that
or
person's attention. Go ahead, Brandy.
my bad, I don't mean to cut you off. Or they would join the praise and worship team, or they would have these titles in different men. Oh, I'm over this such and such ministry. Notice me. Da da da. Yeah,
Yeah.
people do that too.
Yeah, so they do things for people to look at them, even though they don't have any type of substance. That for me is like is trying to be recognized. But I think you need to be present, if that makes sense, and be yourself. And I think that kind of goes back to what we talked about last week with letting your name carry you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just have to be your own person. I'm in this church because I'm trying to get right with God. I'm living my godly life. I may be in ministry, but I'm not doing ministry for people to notice me. You know what I mean? I'm doing this because God's elevating me. That's completely different. And if people take notice to that, that's different than you doing things to be recognized, or you know what I mean? You're doing things with the point of people speaking about you. You're purposely trying to um like I said, be recognized by people. You know how people like celebrities, they will start scandals for their name to
Yeah.
be that voice for people to talk about them. Is that
Mhm.
type of situation. That's so applying this to other environments. Don't go to these places, wherever you go with the intention of just being out there. Again, you're not I'm saying avoid doing things that's going to make you seem like something that you're not. That's really what I'm
Right.
getting at.
So, in other words, having the proper intentions.
Exactly. Exactly. Like just be aware of who you are as a person, which is why the pre-scouting season is so important. The stuff that we talked about in the last episode. It's the preparations, the things that you do for yourself. That because there are people who can walk in a room and people notice their spirit before they notice their body.
Mm-hmm.
You see what
Bro,
I'm
now that you say that, it really, I'm not gonna say her name because I don't want to, put her out there. But this
saying?
is one specific lady in our church who is just exactly how you explained it. Like
Hmm.
she walks into the room, you notice her spirit. She doesn't have to do too much. She doesn't have to dress a certain type of way to get the attention. Like you see God on her, Like you see her spirit, and it's
Yeah.
pure and it's genuine.
And
So
people
I feel
gravitate
like that speaks for itself. Right? My bad.
do her looks, not her, but just people in general. I mean, people will gravitate to her, but I know who you're talking about. She's very pretty. But I'm just saying, like,
I don't
when
mean that way though.
no, but I hear you. I know what she's saying. I was making sure I ain't say it wrong.
Yeah, like she definitely has that spirit that you're speaking of, and it just
Mhm.
reminded me of her when you said that. It
Yeah,
speaks for itself.
agreed. So going back to putting yourself in the place, because again we talked about Ruth and how she had to he was working in like the fields and stuff to kind of get Boaz's attention. But she wasn't like, how can I explain this? Like she was there doing what she was supposed to do. And it was kind of like a
Mhm.
if it happens kind of thing. It wasn't like she was, you ever seen in those movies how people like trip on purpose to make
Yeah.
people like
Yeah,
up for them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she wasn't doing things like that.
I don't. I don't really think. I feel like she wasn't actively looking, but if
Okay.
the opportunity
Because
presented
remember,
itself,
she wasn't looking for Boaz to marry Boaz.
Yeah,
She was
right,
looking
right.
for Boaz to
help her
basically
and
help
mother.
her family, help Naomi out.
Yeah.
So like,
So
I feel
she,
like she
she was
wasn't
doing
actively
her
looking, but the opportunity presented itself, so she took it.
exactly, or rather, it was granted to her.
Right.
That too. Yeah.
Would you say that he was scouting too?
Yeah, because he knew about her. He watched her. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
he say that he was watching her?
He said he had well
Oh,
at first
he
he had
said
heard
he
about
heard
her,
about her.
and then he watched her when she was there, and he noticed her, and then he started watching her.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously he had to see what she was about before he went with his move.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I think the most when it comes to scouting for me on a personal level is I think it's the watching and waiting part for me. It's the I need to see what you're about before I approach you. So if I'm personally in my scouting season, I wouldn't, look at somebody, think that they were attractive, and then be like, ooh, let me go talk to that person. For me, I feel like it's important for me to like know you, know your character, know what you're about before I even allow you into my space. So like I want to see how you are if I'm looking in the church. I want to see how you are in the church, outside of the church, with your friends, with your people. Like I want to kind of like watch from a distance, not in a creepy stalkery kind of
Yeah.
way, but like, but and that will require me to put myself in, environments where I know they might be at. So if I know that, if I notice him talking to certain people, like he likes basketball and they go to the gym and play basketball, hey, maybe I might go to the gym that day that y'all playing basketball and just, but I'm not necessarily going pro. Again, be very careful about this because this could be very borderline stalkerish, y'all. So
Jeez, that's wild.
yeah, like you got to be very, very careful with how you do this because you don't want this to be portrayed as creepy. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is like it's important to know somebody before you know somebody, if that makes sense. Like let
Okay.
there be a little bit more substance than just I'm attracted to this person. I feel like, there should be something about their character, something about who they are that also draws you, not just oh, this person looks good, let me go talk to them. This person
So
looks
I have
good
a
and
question.
can also carry a conversation. This person looks good and can also, you know, uh he or she may know how to run a business well. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. So question.
Mm-hmm.
I hear all that you're saying and I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But what about those people who don't have that opportunity, who don't go to church with people to watch them, or work with people to watch them, or basically be around somebody enough to, basically watch and wait or whatever? What if all they have is that attraction factor? What if uh a guy sees a girl in a grocery store or vice versa, and that's like the first or last time they could possibly see each other? So how would they, quote unquote, scout that person if there's no conversation had, or if there's just like a pass? Or I don't know. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. I can't put it
I
into words right now.
I get what you're saying. So I'm gonna answer this in two different ways. The first way I'm gonna answer this, and John, you can also answer this too, but the first way I'm gonna answer this is base it off of your relationship with God. And I say that to say I'm in a place, and I've said this to several people. I have um dated people in the past who I thought was my type. And for me, they didn't
Jesus.
quite equate to what I thought they were supposed to be. So I have made up in my
Jesus.
where I threw all that out of the window. So for
Hmm.
me, I've been telling God, like, I just want the right person for me. And whatever that looks like, because they're gonna meet my needs the same way I'm gonna meet their needs. They're gonna meet my wants the same way I'm gonna meet my wants. But if I limit that based on my quote unquote type, that might take me away from who might potentially be right for me. So
What if the person is though,
So
and you wouldn't know that unless?
what I'm saying is, hold on. What I'm saying is that's why I say my answer will be is based on your relationship with God. Because for me,
Okay.
because I said that, I'm not putting this whole season into God's hands for him to guide me, right? So
Mhm.
if I'm submitting this whole thing to him, I'm saying, well, God, if this might be, the one, I don't have all of the information, but God, I feel like God will work it out in a way where it will come
It'll
to
be revealed.
them. Yeah, like maybe they might approach me because I know myself, I'm probably not going to approach them. So I would need them to approach me because that's not my personality type. But I feel like God,
Right.
if God's my dad, my father, he knows me well enough to know, okay, my child's not going to do this. Somebody else might
Hmm.
might be able to have that confidence level to be able to approach them, or but that's just not
Right.
me. So if I'm leaving the situation up to God and letting him control it, he will be like, okay, it's comfortable enough for you to approach them, or God's gonna let them approach me, and then when they do approach me, my spirit will be right enough to say, okay, engage in this conversation and not turn away. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
one answer. Then the other answer would be, hey, shoot your shot. You know what I mean? Like if you feel like if you feel like that there's that strong pull that makes you feel like, dang, I gotta talk to this person, then take that opportunity if it presents itself. But even
Okay.
in if we're talking about scouting, even in that time of you had that initial conversation with that person, still take a step back and kind of like be in the observant seat and kind of like, you know, watch and see how they are and who they are as a person and be able to like learn their character um before you get, you know, into a space where you get too involved and then things go to the left.
Okay. John?
Well, I was gonna say Joe kind of took the best answer you can get.
Sorry.
Pretty much.
I
But
mean,
did you have anything to add?
I did. I was gonna say like more so to the whole what if it's the grocery store and like you know you don't know if you're ever gonna see this person again. Again, I I honestly don't think God would put you in a situation to what like if this person is that person for you, he would, you know, make things in such a fashion where that wouldn't be the last time you see that person.
It'll
Maybe
be
it's
orchestrated right.
yeah, orchestrate. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Um, because a lot of times you end up meeting people and you might think you'll never see them again, and then 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years down the line, boom, they pop back up in your life, and it's like, wait a minute, like so. I feel like if it's the season for that person to be in your life, then God will make it happen so that that person is in your life. Like if God knows this is what you're looking for, and God knows this is the person for you, then He's not going to let that person. Honestly, He won't let that person get away from you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But for people, I guess for people who are unsure about that sort of thing, again, like Joe said, shoot your shot. Because if you shoot your shot, the worst thing that can happen is that person says no.
They know, right?
But one, if you did
So,
it and it succeeds, and you know you get to talking to that person, then again you'll be able to, like Joe said, step back and be like, all right, now that I've you know gotten that initial interaction, we can see if this is what God really has for me, or if I'm just going based off of, oh, that person was cute.
okay. So, on the topic of shooting shots, we already know Joe's answer. She's not going to shoot her shot. Would you shoot your shot, John?
That's a complicated question. Because for me personally,
Well, okay, hold on. I'm sorry, John.
go ahead.
What what does shooting your shot mean though? Because because
You like
technically me putting myself in a little in the space might be like low key shooting my shot.
No,
no,
we're gonna fight about that. We're gonna fight about that because I'll be talking
people
and
cannot
this
read your mind.
Hey,
this going to get
hey.
slightly secular in this conversation. This is not entirely a holy conversation right now because I've seen that like the girls who be like commenting on a dude's picture or like watching
And
his
think that they're
story and
shooting
be
your
like, that's
shot.
shooting my shot. Or no, that's not shooting your shot. You did not talk to that man. That is not shooting your shot.
I'm trying to be seen.
It is not shooting your
I'm
shot.
That's
trying
not
to,
shooting your shot, though. You're putting
You
yourself
have
in
to do
position, but
something to
he
shoot
might not
I'm
your
know
trying
shot.
to start a conversation.
How does a basketball player shoot a basketball? They have the ball in their
that. He
hands
shoots
and
the
they
shot.
shoot it towards the basket. They don't just have the basketball in their hands and then all of a sudden the basketball is in the hoop. Okay, you have to do something in order
That
for it to
is
be
doing something.
shooting
I commented
your
on
shot.
your picture.
Shooting is an
I
A
actual.
commented
lot
on
of
your
people comment on
video.
pictures. A lot
I
of
said
people
on the
comment
bottom
on
of your
videos.
picture, hey, you look nice today.
And that's not
A
shooting your
lot of people
shot.
did that.
That's starting a conversation. You supposed to respond and say thank you. And then I'm gonna be like, hey, how you doing?
It's not shooting your shot.
And then you gonna
That is
respond
not.
back. And then now we in a
Okay, pause.
conversation.
How I feel like what the definition, my definition of shooting your shot is if you're actively pursuing that person, I'm like, oh hey, do you want to go on a date?
Right. Like I
That's
saw
shooting shot.
you look
No,
real
that's not
nice,
strong.
whatever. I want to get to know you. Can we go on a date? Shooting your shot.
Or can I have your number?
Shooting
Like
your
I can
shot.
call you sometime. That's
Shooting your shot.
faith without works is dead. So if you
Facts.
don't do, if you don't,
Facts.
so
I don't think
if
that's
you
what
don't have the
Jesus meant.
action behind shooting, if you don't have the action behind shooting your shot, if you're not actively trying to shoot your shot, it ain't gonna work. So
Ain't
you
shooting your shot.
taking a
It's
picture or commenting
being
is
So
not
present.
shooting your shot.
before I ask the next question, John, did you want to answer Brandy's question? Because I now have a question.
Brandy's question was, would I shoot my shot? Again, complicated question. Um, the short answer is yes. The long answer is it would take a while. Because
Okay.
I'm honestly not the type of person to shoot my shot right away. Like, I need to get to know somebody before I shoot my shot.
Okay. Understandable.
Okay, so I got a question. Because you know how, again, it goes back to the whole like the Bible says, he that find the wife find the good thing. So they teach you a lot of times that you're not supposed to, as for women, you're supposed to be found. So that means the guy is supposed to approach you. So is it ungodly for a woman to shoot their shot?
That's a good question.
Ooh.
Cause
Ooh.
because like John just said, some men don't always shoot their shot. Some men are actually waiting for the woman to shoot their shot. I've actually been told by a few people that they would rather the girl shoot their shot too.
And again, going back to the scripture, is that going against the nature of man? Like, is that okay
Mm.
from a Christian perspective?
That's a
Is
complicated
that
one.
appropriate?
I feel like that's a question for somebody who has more authority than we have.
I was about to say
But okay, but
that's a
opinion
mental
based, like
question.
initial thought, like we are not the end all be all. This is not telling you what is right or wrong, but just for sake of conversation, like what do you think?
I don't want to give an answer and then be told later on, no, that's not
No,
godly, that's
wrong
not
is
biblical.
wrong. I think
I
because I feel like a lot of people might have that thought. You know what I mean? Like for me, I guess the way I would answer this question is based on what I've learned and what I've taught and the way that I grew up, and that might be why I am the way that I am. I would not think that was appropriate because again, the way that I was taught, the quote unquote traditional values or whatever, men are supposed to approach. Men are supposed to ask you on a date. Like there are certain things that men are supposed to do, and that's the way that my mentality is. So I would personally say that I don't think that would be appropriate for me as the woman to do that, because then I feel like maybe I'm stepping out
Out of
of,
the will of God.
yeah, like, but that's just me. I don't know if everybody has that mentality or if they grew up with the same type of teaching, or you know what I mean, like, or if they
I
interpret,
did it.
if they interpret the scripture differently. I don't know, but I'm saying I don't think so because
But
based
why
on
should we wait for him to find us? What if he never finds us? Like why unless we
you're
actively
supposed to be married.
go out there?
I
But I thought there was a person for everybody though.
don't think that's
Because
true.
I think we're supposed to
Yeah, I
be
was gonna say I
alone.
don't think that's true either. Because even the Bible says not everyone is built for marriage. Like
Yeah.
there's there's plenty of scriptures in that regard to say that some people are built for ministry. Some people are built for you know other things that aren't necessarily marriage. In fact, Paul literally says it's better to marry than to burn. But if you
In
don't
the
feel like you need to marry, don't do the stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like that's a tricky question for me.
It's
It may not
definitely
be for anyone else, but for me, because like I said, there are some guys out there that want a woman to shoot
and
their shot.
I will argue for the sake of argument that that's also because of the way society is right now, especially with a lot of the things that have happened to people and over the course of history. I feel like a lot of the reason why that's the case for men is because um a lot of us are afraid of being too forward or not knowing how to be forward in the right way because a lot of men weren't really taught how to approach a woman. And
True.
so they're just going off of what they've seen or what they've heard. And so in order to avoid like causing a scene or making trouble or like, disrespecting somebody or whatever, they would rather be approached so that they could be like, all right, bet I'm approached. So now I can go do what I got to do, you know? So like once that initial approach is made, then the dude can be like, all right, let me take you out of the date, da 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 da.
Hmm.
But so that's why that's the only reason why I would say I don't think it's ungodly for that initial approach to be made by a woman. Like
But I was
for example, a quote unquote shooting your shot. I don't think it's inappropriate for a woman to do that. But that's my personal opinion, and that's also like I said, I feel like because of the way society has like gone over the course of the many years that humanity's existed,
Hmm.
that's why things have shifted in that regard.
so I'll also say this. I've been told by some male friends that I have, like, they would rather a woman shoot their shot at them because, like, how would they know that the woman is interested if they didn't shoot their shot?
If the woman didn't,
Yeah, how would they know if the woman is interested in them if they didn't shoot their shot?
I think that question kind of goes both ways. How would I know the guy is interested if they don't shoot their shot?
And I
I
think
guess we both in confusion.
that again
Yeah.
comes back to what I said about society's role in that, because I feel like in a lot of ways we've been like untrained in how to see things in each other.
Yeah.
So that's why it's harder now to read those signs, you know?
And I think that's the importance about this series, because you're right. I feel like the whole dating thing is so messed up. The idea
Complicated.
of
And then a lot
talking,
of people are just awkward.
relationships, and no, and I agree, but I think there's a lot of societal influence in that too, where again, like what is a talking stage, like what is the situationship, like these things should not exist, like none of that makes any sense, but because of society created all these things, that I feel like it just ruined dating in general, and not even dating, it ruined courtship, it ruined trying to get to know each other, it ruined the significance of marriage, it created all of these, it created
You want to know why?
friends with benefits, like without the commitment, like you're getting all of these things and you're not committed to anybody, you a fly by night, as my dad would say, like you would just
You
you
just said it.
whatever.
I
Huh?
ain't heard that in so
You,
long.
you want to know why? You kind of just said it though. The friends of benefits. People feel like they can have casual sex and it don't mean anything.
Yeah. And because it became accepted, it became, because I hate to say this, but it's kind of true. Y'all don't kill me, but
Oh boy.
people wanted to
Oh boy.
forget it, boldness. People wanted to be in control of certain terms, right? Let's just be real.
Pretty
People didn't want
much.
to be called hoes no more. Females did not want to be called hoes anymore. Let's just be real, okay?
They gonna tussle. They
That's
gonna
fine.
tussle.
Y'all can call me out. Y'all can fuss at me, whatever. I'm being real and I'm being transparent right now. Females did not want to be called hoes anymore. They did not want to have the negative connotation when it comes to sleeping around. The same thing. Well, the guys can do it, I can do it too. So I think that is partially, I'm not 100% putting the blame on the females, because I think a lot of it has to do with the men too. But I think that partially sparked some of the shift that happened when it came to like dating and casual dating at that, because it became almost like a competition. It became this Your body count is 5, my body count could be 5 too. You know what I mean? And again, this does not, because just the same way a female could be called a hoe, a man can be called a hoe too. Because half of the time, men are worse than the women. Both
But they
parties
don't because of a double standard.
agreed.
They
For
feel
me,
they feel like it's
both
cool for
parties,
the men to do it.
both parties need to be held accountable, in my opinion. And I think that's a whole other topic for another discussion, because I can go on and on about double standards and all
Disclaimer.
of that. But
Disclaimer. We're not condoning any of that. We're
we're
just
not.
talking.
We're just talking. I was just trying to explain where this whole thing came from, and I feel like that's part of the situation. I feel like it became, let's, you know what, let me take a step back. It became culturally acceptable for men to do what they please, right? Let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were not any type of rules, regulations, societal norms, whatever, for men, or it was a
Or
societal
repercussions.
norm for men to do whatever they wanted. And then when women were like, this isn't fair, rather than going to the, okay, let's put some rules and regulations on the men, they were like, I want to do it too. So I think that's where the problem became worse. Rather than getting to the root of the issue, which was there was no type of rules, regulations on these men for them to have more control over themselves, it
Their
became a
attitude.
free for all for everybody.
Sheesh.
Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. Please forgive me, but I was just stating an opinion. Again, I'm not putting 100% of the blame on the women, because again, I think the men play a significant and a huge role in a lot of this, but I think that we also contribute to the problem too, and I think that that's the issue, because we're not.
My old
Yeah.
Honestly, I
my old
agree.
pastor used to say, "It's tight, but it's right."
Nah.
Lord. Oh, but no, I agree with you in the sense that, if men took more accountability
Hmm.
in, you know
That's a big word
around,
for some people.
because ultimately you want to say like we can't sleep around without each other. Let's just put it that way. Like
Yeah.
if there was no available bodies, there wouldn't be a body count,
Correct.
right? So and and it's not to and that's not me putting the blame on women. That's me more so saying if I was
It
not
takes
available,
two to tango.
if I didn't make myself available to do these things, or if I didn't put myself in the mindset that I can do this and it's okay, like I can go around sleeping with multiple women and that's okay, then there wouldn't be a turnaround of, oh well, if he can do it and it's okay, then I can do it and it's okay. Like there's got to be there's a lot of personal responsibility in these things, is what I'm saying.
Nobody takes accountability these days.
And there has to be a lot more of that. And that's a big one in scouting someone out. Can someone take accountability for their situation and for the things they're going through and the things they're dealing with? And can you take accountability for your trauma? Oh Lord.
Woo!
Oh Lord.
That's another topic.
That's
That is
that's
another
that's
topic.
that's one the people gonna tussle with that one. But we go that's a whole
No,
other.
this is what y'all need to be doing in the pre-scouting season. Like y'all need to stop coming into these situations with y'all trauma. Get yourselves together. Stop. Don't nobody want to take on all y'all problems.
Facts.
Like for real, I get it. Like there's a healing process and people can help each other through the issues, whatever. But stop trying to heap all y'all problems on somebody else like they your mama.
Stop trying to help each other through issues in
Also,
relationships.
you cannot heal the next person.
Ooh,
Stop
say
trying
that.
to heal that person.
Say that.
You
Say
can't
that.
heal somebody if you ain't healed yourself. Let's start
Only
there.
no,
That
only God
too.
can heal people. How about that? Only God can heal people.
Yeah. Like, you are not that person's therapist. You are not that person's mama, daddy, auntie, uncle. You are no. If we are supposed to be trying to build a relationship, we are building a relationship. That does not mean that we can't talk about your issues, your traumas, whatever. But you have to be in a place to be working on it, actively working on it, in order to continue to pursue this. Because you can't just say, okay, yeah, I had that problem, and then you just sitting on it. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's childish. Y'all need to grow up.
I just had
Because
a
you just
flashback.
use that as an excuse to continue the same types of behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
If you expect, because, and I'm not trying to harp on the guys, but a lot of you guys have this problem. You always talk about these issues that these women have. You always talk about their
Jesus.
this and their that, and they, they're insecure and blah blah blah. Man, y'all got the biggest insecurities ever.
Oh my
But
god,
you want to
bro.
project all of your, because you talking about that girls got daddy and mommy issues. You want to project your daddy and mommy issues onto these women. Y'all need to cut it out.
Bro, oh my god, Joe.
Saying,
Joe.
I'm just saying.
Joe.
I'm just saying. I'm addressing the problem
Thanks.
because they keep talking
And
about,
don't blame the women. Like,
especially among the African American population, how the dating pool is small. Again, we trying to help y'all out. If we want to talk about getting in a position to be around these people, if you don't have your stuff together, you are not even considered to be in the scouting season. So you want to even be part of this process. Again, like I said at the end of that last episode, listen to it and listen to it again and take notes, because that right there is gonna,
obviously you ain't ready.
you not ready to even be on this episode. So if you ain't get it by what, how long we've been in this, 55 minutes into this episode, if you ain't get it by now, go back and listen to episode 11,
And then come back.
on to episode 12, and you're not
Link
ready.
will be in the description.
Oh my god, Joe, I had a flashback, Joe. You wrong for that.
I'm just saying.
I had a flashback.
You
But
just
it's
went
true,
off.
because we all have been in situations like this. And again, like I said,
Jesus.
a lot of people are, again, among the African American community, we say the dating pool is small. There are not a lot of eligible men in our race, because a lot of them are so stuck in everything is a female problem. Everything is on the woman. They again, they're insecure. They have daddy issues. They're not healed. They they have all this trauma that they've dealt with. Where does majority of the trauma come from? You men.
I was gonna say, like, you want to talk about a girl's daddy issues, but you're not making them any better.
Again,
Thank
You're
you.
using them
it's
issues to
not,
get what you want from her.
no, it's not about making it better. It's about addressing your own daddy issues. It's about addressing your own mommy issues. You have insecurities. Stop saying only females have insecurities. No, men got insecurities too. Men got problems. Men got issues that they're not addressing. Start there.
No, but
Don't sit here and say you need to work on yourself if you're not going to work on yourself too. I'm cool with you being aware of your issues. Speak on it all day. I'm glad that you know, hey, this is my problem. What are you doing about it?
Thank you.
Who are you talking to? Who's in your circle? Who's in your network that's helping you to be a better person, that's helping you to achieve these goals that you have in your life, not just on a relationship perspective, but just in general? Who's uplifting you? Who's in your corner? But you want to put all of that on a woman, and you want her to be your mother, you want her to be your therapist, you want her to be your best friend, you want her to be your doctor. Come on now.
Preach. All right, look, disclaimer, we're not putting all the blame on men. We're not putting 100% blame on men, because there are some effed up women out there too. Excuse my French. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. There are some messed up women out there too.
Right.
Who do stuff who do dirt just as bad as these men, but she's right. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I have my flaws. I've messed up. I've taken accountability. But there are some black men out there that do not take accountability.
Which is why you need to embrace your single season. Stop trying to be single and then sleeping around.
Amen.
That's not being single. Being single means being by yourself. So stop trying to mix in with all of these people and you going from body to body to body, but you single.
If you can't say nothing, say ouch.
Stop doing that because that's not helping you. That's not healing you because all you doing is putting your stuff on this person and this person and this person and this person. So everybody got a piece of the
everybody
problem.
walking around here with problems.
Folks ain't gonna like that one.
If you are going to be single and if you are going to work yourself out, take the time and deal with yourself. And even if you're not sleeping around, don't talk to nobody. Deal with yourself. Stop trying to start relationships with people if you are not ready to be committed, if you are not ready to do the hard work, if you are not ready to take those steps to get a good person. I'm talking men and women.
That's the exact reason why I'm not scouting.
If you are not ready to get down in the trenches, if you are not ready to cry, if you are not ready to bawl your eyes out, if you are not ready to strip away all that negativity in your life, don't even come over here. Don't even come.
Don't waste your time, partner.
The cycle needs to end because it's a constant cycle. Hurt people. So stop that cycle. Get your hurt together. Heal from your hurt, and then come on and try to move on with another person. They said the script they always say the two become one, right? So that means if we married, your problems become my problems. My problems become your problems. If I'm not willing to take on what you have and you're not willing to take on what I have, then you're not ready. And again, this is before you even get to the I'm looking for somebody. You got to do this work before you even say that. This isn't a I'm ready to get married conversation. This is a I'm ready to look and even be interested in another person. This is the work you got to do before you even get to that step.
The doors of the church are not open.
But also,
will there be
also, that's also another thing. Don't even use that as an excuse to delay the process either, because a lot of people do that too. But I feel like I'm getting into a whole lot of other topics I don't need to talk about. I'm gonna shut up now. I'm done.
The doors of the church are now open. Will there be one?
Please.
I just wanted to interject a little bit.
Y'all got the preacher, man.
I'm sorry.
I feel like I'm a little scared now. I don't even know if I can say anything.
It does suck being the only male on the podcast, though.
It really does. It really does. But at the same time, I get it because, like Joe said, a lot of us are out here hurting people, and like sometimes it's not even on purpose. It's just because we just out here doing and not thinking, you know.
But it goes both ways.
But what I was gonna say it earlier, like Joe did kind of like touch on it, but I wanted to like, I guess, complete my thought, because what I was saying about not making it worse is like, as you said, like I got my own issues, so I can't bring my issues on you on top of the issues you already have,
right?
And then expect you to fix both of our issues. Like, for example, if I'm claiming a girl got daddy issues and then I'm over here being another man to do wrong to her, I'm not helping the situation.
Jesus.
Like, we have to, like I said in the last episode, we have to, especially as Black men, and I know I know all our listeners are not all Black, but I'm talking about the community I'm in.
Mhm.
as black men, we have to be better protectors of the women in our community. And that
Mhm.
means not doing harm to them emotionally and in relationships. Like even to the point of friendships. Like be better friends to the women in our lives, bro. Like look out for them. Like if you know that you got a homie that's doing dirt to his girl, check your homie. Like there's so many things that I could talk about in as far as like us being better to our women, but like it's it's a process. It is a process. And like Joe said, don't use the excuse that it's a process to delay starting the process,
Mhm.
because ultimately, like, I would like to say that we all want to be in a place to be good for somebody else. You know, at least I hope I am. I don't know about everybody else, but I would like to be in a place to be good for somebody else. So if I want to do that, I have to do better for me so that I can then do better for us. Um,
Well, on that note,
Mm. Yeah.
but anyway, point is, y'all, get yourself right before you start looking for somebody else. That's really the main point of this whole thing. Like we have to like, yeah, get in position, all of that good stuff, but don't get in position if you're not even ready to talk to somebody. Get in get yourself right before you start messing somebody else up.
But if you are past that point and you have done the work and you did what you were supposed to do, congrats to you. You are now ready. Here's your certificate. Let's move on. So if you are ready to scout, if you are ready to scout, make sure you are in places that you know these people, that you will find, eligible people, or you can be seen by eligible people. So if that means, going to churches, going to nice restaurants, even going to like clothing stores in the mall, or, places that you feel like match
Oh,
match who
oh,
you
oh,
are as a person.
oh.
wait,
As you
pause.
say
I have
that,
a
as you say
question.
that, as you say that, um, stop creeping on people at their jobs, bro. Like people are at work. Don't do that.
I have a question since you said that, Joe. Joe, what if these people are being like? What if they don't see him in person, but only on social media? Because some people are dating through social media now.
I feel like that needs to be like a subtopic, because social online dating is a travesty. Um,
Facts, but
but,
we can move on.
but
Moving on.
but because it exists, um, I mean, I think okay, now this depends. Are we talking about somebody you know in person and you met them online, or you strictly know them online? You don't know if they are real, fake, whatever.
It
Like
can go both ways. When I say like, this guy notices a girl on social media, he notices every time she posts or make a post a picture or something, but he never really met her in person.
I would say, if I'm going back to the top, the mindset of, for me, a guy would be the one who was doing the work. I would say, like, I would hope if this guy is that interested in me, he would take the steps to like try to get to know me outside of social media as quickly as possible. If we've already established that kind of rapport of this person, I know this person is real, because obviously, like with online dating, there's that
Catfishing.
risk of catfishing and all of that stuff. So, like, I'm not speaking on that. I'm speaking on the fact that, like, I know this person exists in real life. We only communicate through social media. So, and if that is the case, then I would say like that the guy should be trying to move that along to the point where we can meet in person. But if it's the other way around and you don't really know that person, you know, technology, FaceTime, Duo, Google Meet, Google Hangouts, pick something to use it, Zoom, whatever, to like see this person before you even take the opportunity to like see them in real life, because And we ain't trying to
People
get
crazy.
watch too much Criminal Minds, Law and Order for
Right.
anybody to be snatched up in these streets. We not doing that. So honestly, the real answer is if you can avoid the online stuff, just avoid it in general. But if it does happen to be a situation like that, just be safe and be smart about it, and really
Right.
like take your time, bring your friends, and scout.
Y'all
Come
just saying meet in
on,
public
we can scout
places.
this one. It's okay to be a stalker in this situation. If you need to pull up to their so-called job that they have, to make sure that they actually telling the truth about that. Like you might need to do a couple of these things just to make sure that you are safe. So scout this person out. That's what I would say. So take the time to, like, if they say they work at CVS, and they really work at Walgreens, like, why you lying? Like little things like that. Just make sure that this person is actually legit. So you might have to follow them around a little bit in a non-creepy
Right.
way. Like, don't be getting no restraining orders out here in these streets, y'all. Be careful.
Okay. I was just curious.
But yeah.
All
So I think we've kind of hit the whole topic here of scouting, y'all. Fix yourself if you're looking. Fix yourself before you start looking, and be careful. Just be careful. So yeah, we've had a lot to talk. We talked a lot. Well, Joe talked a lot.
Sorry.
So y'all know what time it is.
time for the
I can only mean one thing.
Okay. So, like we said last week, we got these conversation cards. This is the relationship debates pack. So,
Oh lordy.
I'm just asking a couple questions, and we can kind of like, spark a conversation or whatever. So because we were on the topic of scouting and dating and relationships, because this is what this summer series is about. So we're gonna these questions are basically going to be about dating and relationships and how we approach them. So I'm gonna ask this question. A woman gets the courage to ask her crush on a date, and he accepts. They go on a date, check comes, and he gives the check to her. She's offended. Who's in the wrong?
she is because she asked them. She asked them out. How you gonna ask somebody out and then assume that they're going to pay when you ask them out?
So is that the rule? If you
For
ask
me,
out, you're responsible financially for paying.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, yeah. Why am I asking you out if on a date if I'm not planning on at least paying? That's just me though. Because I
Okay.
think I said this last episode. If I ask you out, I'm going to pay.
Right. Like literally, if a woman asks me out, like I'm not expecting her to pay, but because personally that's just me. But like it makes sense that if the person to ask the person out is the one who pays.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
Are
Cool.
you gonna answer the question?
Oh.
Hey,
Um. Well, for me, this would have never happened because I would have never asked him out.
oh Lord. Hypothetically,
So, I mean, I hear what y'all are saying because she asked him out. Okay, so then I guess my question would be, because for me, I wouldn't have done it. So if he asked me out and then he gives me the check.
Oh no. Oh no.
no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Why are you asking me out if you didn't plan on paying?
True.
That's a no Playboy.
Unless y'all had a conversation prior to like, I'm asking you out, but you want to pay the check. I don't know. Maybe y'all could have had a I don't know.
I don't
But
see how that could possibly work
even
unless like if this is the first date, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
no, first date, of course not.
Ain't no way. But like say y'all been dating for a little bit and like he's like, I want to take you out on a date, but I don't got no money or whatever. and then the onus would be on the girl to be like, well, you know what, I'll pay for us this time, or something like that. Hey,
Okay.
but yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. Don't.
Um,
Point is, don't X me out if you don't plan on paying.
Right. If you're not financially capable, don't do it. Because what you
And
asking somebody else what you asking somebody else out for if you can't even pay for your own food, bro? Like
I'm not
realistic.
gonna X you out if I don't plan on paying. Next question.
okay. So on the topic of paying, this one says a woman asks a man to use the money he planned to spend on an expensive date to help her with the bill and suggests they take a walk
Ooh.
in the park instead.
And suggest they take what?
And suggested that they take a walk in the park instead. He
Okay.
refuses. Who's wrong?
He is. That's stupid. Like what? Time out. Time out. Wait, actually, let me think about this.
Is he living with her? And
Right. Like, are they together? Like, are
are
they
they paying?
together
Are they
together?
paying bills together?
I
It's a
don't
lot
know.
of
You
different
told me.
scenarios.
That ain't on the card. I'm just this
Oh
is
Lord.
this woman asked a man. This man was planning on taking her. Say this man was trying to take her to supper club. You know, supper club about to be like $200-$300.
Hi.
Speaking of, I saw somebody who works there pop in the store today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, say this man about to take you to supper club, and you say, "Nah, dude, my light bill is due. Can you, instead of you dropping this $200 on this dinner, can you drop this $200 on my light bill, and then me and you could, all right, I'm gonna sweeten it up. Drop this $200 on my light bill, and I'm gonna cook you dinner."
Your food
Now,
ain't the supper club
personally,
food.
What y'all said? I missed
Okay. I was like, your food ain't the supper club food.
it. I mean,
I
hey,
It's not.
am
But I feel
in
like that
tears. In tears.
depends. Nah, though, I feel like that depends. Like, if he's living with her, and like if they're living together, then I feel like okay, then it shouldn't be an issue you dropping that money on a bill. But if we're not living together, we're just dating and going out on dates. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, this is we not in a relationship.
If we not in a relationship, I'm not paying your bills. I'm sorry.
But y'all could potentially build to being in a relationship though.
I mean, again, in this moment, at this time, when I'm asking you to pay my light bill, we are not in a relationship. We've been
Nah.
dating for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. We've been going on dates, getting to know each other, but we have not made it a step further
Like,
to say we're
I
boyfriend
guess
or
that
girlfriend.
also
Okay,
depends.
but
I guess
but
wait.
listen,
I guess it also depends on the nature of our relationship before we started dating. Because like if we were friends prior to this, yeah, I'd probably pay your bill because I know you. Like
Mm-hmm.
we've known each other for however long before this. But like if dating is the extent of our contact, nah, I'm not paying your bills unless we're in
but
a relationship.
what if he refuses to pay it and she's like, okay, you refuse to pay this bill, all right, bet I don't want nothing else to do with you.
Then that's the risk you run. But
Steve, there's a whole lot of different scenarios with that question. That's why I hate these questions.
like
Okay.
I can't see myself paying bills for somebody that I'm not like
And we not with no.
in a relationship with.
Unless you're a really good friend, I know that I can
Yeah,
trust you.
like unless like again we were already friends before, so like obviously I know your situation and I know you wouldn't try to scam me or something, you know?
Okay. Continuing on with the date questions. A man is on a date with a woman, and she's on her phone the whole time. When the check comes, he asks for it to be split because of that. Is that fair?
Yeah. Because if
Mm.
I take a guy on a date and he's on his phone the whole entire time, that means you're basically not paying me no type of attention. You're not interested. So obviously, what's on your phone is more interesting than me and this dinner. So, all right, bet I'm gonna pay for my half. You pay for your half.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
Huh.
like that's rude.
I mean,
That
yeah,
is very rude to
very
be
rude.
out to dinner with somebody and just be in your phone. Even if you weren't on a date and just in general, like if I'm out, like if we out to dinner as like friends or something, and you in your phone the whole time, like what are you doing?
Okay.
So
Okay. So,
I don't know if I would outright split. I would outright say split the bill, but like I
See,
feel like
the
I feel like I would have stopped the date before it got to that point because like
the
why are
petty
we?
in me, the petty in me was split it.
why would you consider that to be petty?
Okay, obviously you got the money to pay for your own meal. You like you in your phone again. You ain't paying me no mind, so you can go ahead and pay your half of the ticket. I'm gonna go ahead and pay for mine. Why should I pay for your? Why would I pay for your meal when you ain't paid me an ounce of attention, gave me an ounce of conversation? You're facing your phone the whole entire time. So bet. All right, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you.
Right. But is that fair or is that petty? Because I feel like that's valid. So if it's valid, does that still make it petty?
It
Yes,
can be
it's
both.
still a petty thing to do.
True.
Cause the right thing to do would be like, you know what, whatever, it's gonna be our last date. But I'll go ahead and pay for your meal since I did invite you out to dinner. But
Fair.
this
Right.
is gonna be our last meal. But the petty and me, nah, partner, go ahead pay for your meal. I'm gonna pay for mine, and we're gonna go our separate ways after this.
Okay. 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 Um. All right. We in scouting season, right?
You are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I'm not right, John. Right.
topic of is scouting season. So say you trying to get to know a man or whatever, or you getting to know a woman. Either way, the say you John or the woman, whatever. A man tells um his potential significant other um that they need to be submissive, and then her response is that's outdated. Who's right?
So so if a guy tells me I need to be submissive
Yeah.
and I tell him it's outdated,
Yeah.
the only man I'm being submissive to is my husband.
I was about to say,
Or
I'm
better
not
yet,
telling
what
her
would your
that because
response
she's not my
be?
wife.
What
Like,
what would your response be? Like mid conversation, a man's like, "Yeah, I like a woman to be submissive."
is she
I'll
your
be
wife
submissive
though?
to my husband.
Cool, 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 cool.
I'll submit to my husband.
Okay.
Like, why are you telling a woman that's not your wife to be submissive to you?
Thank
mm, mm, mm. I'm gonna just leave that where it is.
Okay. So I'm gonna add a little bit to this next question. So say you're okay. Say we're dating, right? And we make it clear to our um significant other that we're waiting until marriage to have sex, and they're pretty much like, that ain't it. What's your next move?
Wait, so if I tell this
bye.
person that I'm waiting and they're like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
you don't respect my boundaries. So
Right. Bye.
what
How
are
do
we
you
doing?
handle that?
Huh?
How do you
Bye.
handle that?
Bye. Because why are you
Bye.
not
Right.
respecting my boundaries?
Okay, so say
Obviously,
Like you don't
it,
respect my boundaries, my commitment to God, so we can't do
right.
this.
yeah.
It's nothing we should have to talk about.
And the only reason why I'm staying on this question a little bit is because we just had our youth rally, and a lot of the questions that people were asking kind of surrounded this topic a little bit. So for someone younger, who's going through that, maybe in high school or whatever, or in college, who may not have as much experience, because peer pressure is real. How would
Facts.
you advise them to kind of navigate this situation? Like you're starting to date, maybe, and like obviously you like this person, but they, they may be like religious, but they might not have the same values and morals that you do, and they're kind of pressuring you a little bit, or not necessarily pressuring you, but they've stated or made it clear that, hey, like this is something that I would potentially want, and you're kind of just like, well, no, I'm not interested. Like how would you advise them to handle it?
Okay.
If hold on, I got something.
Go ahead, Brandon.
If a guy or a girl
Yeah.
does not, if they basically do not respect you or your beliefs,
Mhm.
if they don't I lost what I was about to say, Jesus. If they are upset because you are basically wanting to hold out on having sex until you're married, they don't respect you as a person. They don't respect your beliefs. They don't respect you at all.
Mhm.
Right.
Because if they really respected you and wanted to be with you, they would respect your decision to wait until you're married.
Facts.
Okay.
And being pressured to do it in high school ain't it anyway? Because it's just
It ain't.
it's not worth the headache. Like
It's not.
if at
I'm
all
telling
possible,
y'all.
don't let nobody pressure you in high school to start sleeping around because it's really not worth it.
Exactly.
It's not
It's
all
really
it's
not.
cracked up to
Speak,
be.
speaking from experience, is right what John said. It's not all what it's hyped up to be. It's not gonna lead up to nothing but heartache because
Right.
teens are horny.
Again, facts. Like we are in high school, our hormones are kicking in wild and crazy. Like people just doing things because they feel excited about something. Don't don't let people pressure you into doing it. Like it's this like it I would argue it's the same thing as like when back when we were kids, the whole say no to drugs thing. Like don't let somebody pressure you into doing something you really don't want to do.
Mhm.
That's really all it boils down to. If you
And not
in
even
your
just
heart of
high
hearts
school,
are like, I
life
don't
general.
want to have sex, then don't. Like I know it's easy to say that now as an adult, but like realistically, don't do it. Like, yeah, you might get teased. Yeah, somebody might, make fun of you for it or whatever, but ultimately you're gonna be able to stand on what you believe
Your
in.
beliefs. Right.
And that's going to have more power. That's going to have more power for you as an individual than it would be if you gave up just because somebody was like, "Oh," or worse yet, the ones who like to coerce people with the, "Oh, but I love you, so we should do this." No, they don't.
Yes.
No, they don't. Because if they loved you, they wouldn't try to coerce you into doing something with them.
Right. And they will respect your decision to wait.
And that goes for guys, girls, and whatever. Don't let anybody pressure you into doing something you don't want to do,
You don't want to
whether,
do.
whether it's sex or otherwise.
Okay. I think I'm gonna ask maybe two more questions.
It's your response to these questions.
Huh?
It's your response to our answers.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, y'all talked a good amount, so that was good. Okay. A woman feels her significant other should take care of the domestic duties since she pays all of the bills. He responds, "No. Cooking and cleaning makes me feel less than a man." What advice would you give?
I can't say that, Jesus. I can't say that.
I know exactly what you're thinking, so I'm going to say it the nice way. Do better for yourself, my brother.
Oh my
If you
God.
as
If
if you feel emasculated by the fact that your partner is doing better than you in life, then do better for yourself or get it together and start cooking and cleaning, bro. Because if she's paying all the bills, you better be in that kitchen, bro. What are you doing? She's paying all the bills. Put on
you
that
missing your
apron,
blessing,
grab
sir.
that mop, grab that pot. You better that house better be the cleanest house. That house better smell like the best food. Like, bro, what is you doing?
Yeah, because really, honestly, like, what are you doing? Because if you
Yeah.
no, because like if she paying all the bills, that means
Hey,
she's working, a good paying job. So she at work all day. Then she comes home
and
to cook and
pause.
clean.
What are
So
you
what are
doing?
you doing
Like
with
literally, what are
If
you
yourself?
she
doing?
if she's at work, what are you doing? Are you working? Are you at home playing a game, playing 2K, playing Madden, GTA,
Right.
whatever it is y'all
Like
playing?
you said, she's paying
While she
all
out,
of the bills. So like you're literally
not
not
one, not
like
two, but all.
And this goes back to what I be saying. Y'all really be trying to make these women y'all mama. That is not her job.
right. Like I tell you what. And
Man, my
the
mama would
crazy part
kick my behind if I was in that
the
situation.
crazy part is I said something like this when I was in college. I was like, man, if I had a wife that was making money like that, I would be the best house husband ever. Like, but it's a serious thing. Like if your partner is paying all the bills, then you better be doing all the housework.
Yep. Okay. Last question. T, your partner has yet to post you on social media, but post about their job, dog, and family. Would this bother you?
To be honest, don't post me. I used to have an issue with that because I used to date someone who posted everything else on social media. He would even shout out his friends for their birthdays or for any of their successes. But when it came to me, I would never get posted. It wasn't even about posting me. It's like you're proud of everybody else and showing off everybody else and their successes. Why can't you do that for me? But now I'm at the point where I don't even care if you show me off. It don't matter. It's
Are you
nothing for me to
saying
prove.
that because you haven't healed from your hurt?
Huh?
Are you saying that because you haven't healed from your hurt?
No. I don't care to be posted. I really don't.
Okay.
I really don't. I
No,
don't
I'm just
really
saying,
take
okay.
social media serious like that. Like
Yeah.
it does to me, it doesn't even matter. You post me, you post me, you don't. At the end of the day, what is it gonna do? It's not gonna hurt me, it's not gonna help me, it's not gonna pay my bills. So
Well, for some people it does.
some people it does, but not me.
What you
I
think,
don't, I,
John?
don't,
Hmm. I don't know.
I have one more thing to say. I'm sorry, one more thing.
Go ahead.
Plus, to be honest, that's just room for people to be in your business.
But people are in your business because you post about everything else.
There's certain things people shouldn't be in your business about.
So it's okay for them to post about their job, their family, their dog, like every other aspect of their life except you.
Okay, I get that. I get that. That's true. That's true. I get
I'm
that.
just asking, I'm just throwing out.
No, no, I get it. I get it. But for me, it doesn't matter. I don't care to be posted.
I
Cause to be honest, y'all probably want to know I have somebody until I'm married. I post us at the wedding.
I ain't gonna hold you. I would feel some type of way because you literally post about everything else. Do I not rate like what like because there's only two options. You're hiding me or you're hiding me. So why are you hiding me?
That's true too. That's true too.
That,
But
that's the argument I have for posting me because if you literally like I could see if you were somebody who doesn't really post like unless you're like the person to do the obligatory happy birthday to everybody, but like if you're a regular poster and you're posting things all the time, like you post what you ate today, but you can't post me, your partner, why are you hiding me?
I can see it. I can see it from every different point of view. Like I said, I used to be that person that feels the type of way, but now I'm at the point where I don't even care.
But like that's the only reason I would feel some type of way because I feel like you're hiding me and there's no reason to hide me. If I'm like the words are significant other. So like if I am that person to you, what's there to hide? That's my answer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think yeah, there's either two ends of the spectrum. I feel like either you just not gonna post at all, or we finna post everything. And it's not, my thing is like, I think it also like matters the value that you put on social media too. And I think that kind of plays a role into like the generation that we live in. Because obviously like back in the day, like that wasn't even a thing. But people have, I don't know, social media has played a huge factor in how we handle situations now, because you have those people who, like you said, Brandy, like you're not gonna post that until the wedding. Like it's like they have these whole like secret relationships. Like there are people who like post on social media and they're like hiding their significant other in the background, but you know that they're there because they're talking. Like, it's just all of these things that people do. Is like, oh, we're gonna have a boyfriend review, we're gonna have a girlfriend review. Like all of that is just weird to me. But I think
It's it's just some people are that private though.
no,
People, there's some
and
people out there.
I
No, but
I
I think what Joe's talking about is like the people who do it for show,
yeah,
Oh, well, okay, well, yeah, that's different.
yeah, because
Like like
I was specifically like talking about like influencers and stuff like that. But
Oh, well, that's different.
what I will say is this: I think what matters is, for me, you can post whatever you want on your social media. I think like, if on top of that, I also have never met your friends, I have never met your family, I have never met your coworkers. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if it's the social media, and then on top of that, I
Oh,
play a significant role in your life, then that's an issue. But if you're not posting me on social media, but all your people know me, you know what I mean? I'm not. I think I wouldn't necessarily trip about the social media post, but
okay.
that's
So
if
fair.
yeah,
if
That's
it was
fair.
that's what I was
coupled
just
with,
about to ask.
yeah, like if it was coupled with me not like, it is pretty much I don't even exist in your world. You know what I mean? Like I'm not on
Okay,
social
well, that's
media.
different.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that that would be like my kind of reason as to why, whether or not I would care. You know?
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
yeah, if now that you say it like that, then okay, yeah, I feel some type of way. Like if I'm basically hidden in your world, but if people know about me outside of social media, your friends, your family, your
Yeah.
close, then okay, that's fine. Don't post me. But
Right.
yeah, that's different. Okay, so yeah.
yeah, because I was gonna say I have a friend who was literally dealing with that. Like
Hmm.
her significant other wasn't posting her at all. She had never met his friends. She had never met his family. But on the reverse, she had been posting him, but he'd also met her friends. He'd also met her family. Or he'd also met her family and he'd also like been posted plenty of times.
So
So
he was like in her life, but she wasn't in his, basically.
exactly.
Yeah. See, this. Mm-mm.
And then of course it turned out that he was messing around on her the whole time. So
Mm,
that's why I'm like, "Mm, I don't like
Yeah.
mm.
On that note, let's go.
well, we've been talking for a good long time, y'all. Uh
We have. If
it's
y'all have any comments, y'all have any questions, anything that y'all want to add, y'all go ahead. Y'all should leave us some comments, leave us some questions, whatever. Y'all interact with us. Y'all know the deal.
nah, for real. We want to talk to y'all. Don't wait till the afterburner to talk to us. Get in the comments, y'all.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed. We like to talk to y'all. We are here. You heard us talk for a little bit. We are back at it again with a brand new episode. So thank y'all for joining us tonight. We had a great conversation, and we would love to see you at the Afterburner at 8:45 p.m.
Yes, sir. And as always, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mom, daddy, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, dog, cat, cousin, whatever. We here.
Facts. And if
And
you
we
did
ain't
not
going nowhere.
And if you did not pick up on it already, we are starting a summer series.
Woo,
So
yes,
stay
yes.
tuned for all of the posts about it via social media. This is the first episode of that series. It is only going to be up from here, y'all. So,
We
And
finna get
as you
real.
can
We finna
tell,
get
we be
deep.
talking a lot.
yes. And on
Yes.
top of that, if you haven't noticed, this episode came out a week later, y'all. So
Yeah,
we will
so
be
we throwing them out.
We throw them out back to back to back to back to back. So y'all make sure y'all pay attention. Y'all don't got a break no more. We got it back to back. So make sure y'all tuned in every Friday for this series because
Right.
we'll be here. So y'all need to be here.
Y'all don't got an extra week to catch up. So catch up, mustards.
Don't.
But like I said, if you're not ready to move on to episode 12, y'all might better go back and watch episode 11 a couple more times.
And if y'all even haven't caught up to episode 10, what are y'all doing?
Right.
Like,
Episode 10 was lit, y'all.
Y'all slacking. Y'all slacking.
Right. Yes, it was only available on Facebook Live at first, but it's everywhere now. We posted it. It's out
it's
there.
everywhere. Like if
Just
if,
because y'all
if
missed
go
it,
watch
it don't mean nothing. Y'all should have been there for the live event.
right. And
because it was
I'm
lit.
talking to and certain people. I'm subbing y'all. I'm subbing y'all because y'all know who I'm talking to when I say y'all ain't caught up yet. Catch up.
Uh-oh.
Dips T, you might get called out on the afterburn.
So
But
if y'all haven't caught up and we see you on Friday, I'm coming for you.
Uh-oh. He say he coming for you.
But anyway, for real, we
And
love
on
y'all.
that note,
We love
and
y'all.
as always, thank you for listening to the Christian Call Center where Jesus is on the main line and we're on line 2. Good night, y'all.
Good night.